Luca, the latest Disney Pixar animated film, is directed by Enrico Casarosa, who also directed the short La Luna, and I think that makes a lot of sense since that short film has similar character designs, but I digress. The movie stars Jacob Tremblay and Jack Dylan Grazer among others and is about a sea monster visiting a small town disguised as a human while growing a strong friendship with this also sea monster kid named Alberto. Both, however, have to be very careful not to show their real personas as the people in the town are hunting for creatures like them. That's the starting point of this film. I will keep this review spoiler free, by the way. If Pixar releases a feature film, color me stoked. I do, however, feel like this movie did get slipped under the radar for a lot of people. Really no one around me was talking about it. And of course I've got some geeky friends around me, but it just wasn't really a topic of interest. Question is, should it have been? Hi fellow Disney Plus watchers, this is Thoughts After a Disney Plus Watch, where we review everything new Disney Plus coming out, and I'm glad you're watching. What happens when you blend the animation styles from Despicable Me and the Peanuts movie, just to name two films that seem to have similar animation styles? You get Luca. The animation is very pretty looking, it's very playful and cartoony. I would even say you sometimes feel like you're in a comic book. When characters are falling off a cliff or running around, there's this cartoon quality to it, while still being CG animation, of course. The animation style feels right for this story, and especially the location, if you ask me. Luca is very small in scale in that it plays around in only a handful of locations around this small Italian town and below the surface where the main character comes from. This worked wonders for the film, as I really felt like I was on a vacation. This was also because of the perspective of the main character, who really discovers all that is above the water side for the first time. And the movie has a lot of fun with the particular worldview of the main character. When he first sets foot on land, he interprets everything he sees in his own frame of reference. For example, he imagines the stars are faraway fish. I mean, what else would he believe? His whole life he has been living below water surface. I found it instantly relatable he would believe such things to be true, and it's even a little thought-provoking, because who knows how narrow our mindset is and how much about the unknown is actually totally different than we perceive or believe it to be. Also, an important cornerstone of Luca is the friendship between these two main characters, and this duo is actually a classic duo for kids movies, the naive and imaginative kid and the more egocentric know-it-all. Now, Alberto is a sympathetic character, don't get me wrong, but he really serves the character development of our main character Luca, and he challenges him about what path he should take. He's not that compelling on its own, although he does have something tragic about his past. I believe that was skipped over too quickly though, so I almost forgot to mention. There's one moment, one quick beat in this story that's actually the crisis part, if you will, in the 3-act structure that hits really hard. I'll keep things very vague, but within the core of this movie there's a story about friendship, betrayal, and belonging, and these three themes clashed so hard in this point of crisis that, well, it's a moment that sticks. You know it when you see it. It really felt like a punch in the gut and was by far the most dramatic moment this movie had to offer. Because overall this movie isn't very heavy lifting, it's very light, feel good. Whenever there's a conflict, it doesn't last that long or isn't resulting in any huge consequences, though it's not like I feel this movie needed that. One character in this movie did fell very flat to me, and I think it's the only thing that bugged me while watching this film. This guy, Ercole Visconti, was like too cartoony and annoying about it for my taste. He reminded me of Vector in Despicable Me, but without any real humor or interesting traits or funny weaknesses, nothing really. The humor overall is enjoyable though, there's not that much of it. The funniest character by far, and I think I don't just speak for myself but also my friends who I watched it with, this cat. He's hilarious, and he happens to look a lot like Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. One of my pals pointed that out to me. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I can't tell you why he's constantly such a hilarious character, because that will maybe ruin something for you, but look forward to seeing this kitty steal the show. Overall, I would say this movie is charming with a great heart that asks questions about where to belong, not being afraid of who you are, all those themes that suit a kid's movie. It's beautiful to look at, it has its own unique style and place within the Pixar catalog. The friendship between Luca and Alberto, the two main characters, and is entertaining and makes for a heavy third act moment of crisis. Still, the antagonist is somewhat annoying and very bland, which drags this movie down a little bit. There's also something intriguing about Alberto that was skipped over, and is really a shame, in my opinion, that it wouldn't get more attention. I would love to see him more fleshed out in this movie, but alright. I would recommend this film for a relaxed watch. Don't expect boundaries to be pushed. It's kind of like if you throw How to Train Your Dragon, Cars, just to restrain it to animated movies, and a plate full of pasta in a blender, you get this. If you have enjoyed this review and you're new here, are you one that can't get enough Disney Plus? Then this is the only channel that specifically and absolutely only Disney Plus thoughts and reviews. Episode per episode, we all watch together. You'll have an idea on what to expect. Click that button and that bell if you want to follow along in the future. Thank you so much. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. Did you like this video? Then all it takes is to click that blue little hand down there. Thanks. I will be here next week with the new episode of Loki, The Bad Batch, and the mysterious Benedict Society. Thank you so much for watching. For now, have a wonderful day and see ya.